Alrighty, welcome back to Between the Frames fucking podcast that we haven't posted in 10,000 years. I'm joined here by CK Creative, and today we're here in California and we're just chilling out. What's going on, CK?
Oh, bro, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a hot minute, and I hear you've been doing some pretty hectic photo shoots with some sexy models and stuff lately.
Yeah. Wait.
Tell me about that.
Before we just dive straight into it, we should probably just bring people up to speed with like what's been going on.
Yeah, true.
I don't know what you guys spoke about in the last podcast, but I kind of wanted to do a podcast before we left, but it was so chaotic. And then I wanted to also do one with Liam before he left, just to kind of like document our thoughts, you know, kind of like put everything that we were doing and feeling and going through at the time in a little time capsule and just kind of put it up there out for everyone to listen, but also for us to kind of be able to go back and just, because it was a pretty significant time in all of our lives coming out of COVID and then eventually being able to travel again, and Liam then actually getting over to Europe to meet Mike. Like to him, that was very significant. But we didn't end up getting to do that. And since then, I've come to America with you. Yeah. For the past 2 months, it's been now.
How have you enjoyed your stay?
Oh, I've loved it. I've found it to be like one of the best trips ever.
Really?
It's been super authentic, just catching up with everyone and, you know, getting to know your family more, hanging out with Josh and Vic, and then obviously getting to spend pretty much every single day with Hayden. It's been pretty good. So, yeah, I just wanted to sit down today and do a podcast because I'm leaving.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be left on my lonesome. I'm going to be all by myself.
Yeah, you are going to be on your own for a little bit, but
that's all right.
Me and Hayden, we've had a lot of different conversations, haven't we, throughout these past 2 months.
We have.
We've talked about a lot of things. We often find ourselves in like very deep conversations.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
but usually it's to do with like my medication and stuff. Like,
yeah, but also about content.
Yeah, content, and like at the moment, me personally, I'm going through like a slump with content. Like I'm finding that I'm not like really inspired or motivated like at all. But the thing is, when it comes to inspiration and motivation, which are pretty much the exact same thing, I don't think it's a good idea to actually rely on it, because if you feel inspired, great. But the thing is, you might feel inspired 1 minute and then the next minute you might feel like crap kind of thing. Like if you base doing all of your stuff on the inspiration and the motivation that you feel in that current moment, then you're not going to get much stuff done, because you're not always going to feel that way.
Yeah, wow. You just went 0 to 100 so quickly.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Fuck, I need to like just soak that in.
Yeah.
Wait, before we go like super, super deep.
You're like holding me back.
Yeah,
like, let's just chill out.
Let's just hit base level.
Okay.
Before we just deep dive into that kind of stuff.
All right, what's base level?
Well, I mean, do you remember the last podcast we did?
I do.
You do?
And I was like asking you questions, and I was just like firing like left, right, and center. I knew exactly what I was talking about, but I haven't done a podcast in a while. So now I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh, well, there's no rights and wrongs, bro.
Nah.
And I want to talk about that kind of stuff as well, more for the audience, because we've already covered pretty much everything. Yeah. As I was saying, we've had heaps of conversations this past 2 months. But just going back to that first podcast that we did, it was ages ago now, and it was just after I left my job at Custom Promotions, where I met you and the boys. Yeah. And I remember you inviting me onto the podcast, and I was so fucking excited, like you wouldn't believe. I was like, fuck yeah, like I got to do a podcast with Hayden. It's gonna be sick. And then from then on, like our friendship kind of flourished, and same with like mine and Liam's and Mike's and Limon. So like, dude, we've come a very, very long way.
I know.
Just as mates.
And you used to just be a fan.
Yeah. But that goes even further back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
To before you even knew who I was. But
yeah.
But yeah, now we're like, it feels just different, doesn't it?
Oh,
this
completely.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's like, it's probably more chill because it's you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
In terms of like you knowing me as a person, me knowing you as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you were asking me a lot of questions about like what I do and like what motivates me and all that kind of stuff, but you already know that stuff now.
Yeah.
In a way.
Now it's like, what the fuck do I ask? You know?
Oh, but I don't think this podcast is really more about, you know, getting to know each other.
No.
Whereas the first one was, in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it was.
This is more just about like talking to everyone else and kind of giving them an opportunity to.
It's a bit of an update.
Yeah, a bit of an update. So yeah. On that note, give us an update, Haydos. How have you been going?
Okay.
And how have you enjoyed the past 2 months being in America?
I've been good. Like it's I've been going through a lot in terms of like my medication and all of that kind of stuff, as you know, and like just the withdrawals from like coming off of this medication. By the way, the medication I'm on is like I'm on lorazepam at the moment. I'm on an antipsychotic, which like that's not fun either, which it pretty much like suppresses your dopamine and like it which if you don't know this already, dopamine is like the feel good like chemical. Without dopamine, like it's just like what's the point kind of thing. So that's been suppressed, which is such a downer, but I am coming off of these medications. It's actually interesting because when I was in hospital, the person that was like gonna put me into the ward was like, they said like, I don't know if like I've made the right decision because like when you go into these wards, like they put you on all of this medication. So the person who actually admitted me into the ward was unsure whether she had made the right decision, which is such a fuck around to me because like I've been on this medication for ages. But anyway, I'm coming off of it. It's been hard. I've had really tough times with it, like the toughest times I could ever even, you can't even imagine how tough it is. But I'm getting through it and things are looking a lot like brighter these days. Like,
100%.
Yeah. Like just like hanging out with you, but not just that, but just like also like me in terms of like my mental state. I'm like being much more mindful of like what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of like going with the flow a whole lot more. And like, which means that like, because of my mindfulness, it's like quietened down my mind a fair bit because it used to be like really fucking loud up there.
Yeah.
Like I used to overthink like all the time. And I still like to a certain degree, like it's a part of me that like I kind of overthink. And I feel like that's to do with like a lot of like creativity and stuff. Like a lot of creative people tend to overthink. Apparently, I don't know where that comes from, but that's just what I've heard. But I don't know where I was going.
You're doing better.
Yeah, I'm doing better. Yeah, much better.
Which is really good to hear and see because
Yeah.
I've seen you from like, okay, I didn't see you when you came out of hospital, the boys did, but they described it to me as like you're a zombie.
Yeah.
And since then, like when you came back to Melbourne and we were hanging out and all that kind of stuff, even now even the past 2 months, I've seen like a significant increase in like your happiness, your motivation, even your thinking. Like your thought process can be a lot more concise now, even though you do still struggle to like make a decision. Like you're often like, I don't mind. We can do this. We can do that. I'm easy. But you know what I mean?
That.
It still leaves it up in the air. There's no decision made. But like even nowadays, like I kind of tend to push you towards one direction. Do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? You know, which I think is probably a good habit to make, being decisive.
It's good to be decisive.
Yeah, but it's just been good to kind of be here with you, just spending time together. Because like I didn't come to America to specifically like support you. Like in a way, I came here to just be your friend and just be there for you. Obviously, like I have supported you indirectly through just spending
just being
time.
a mate.
Yeah. But it's been really nice to just like be here and just kind of help you through what you're going and I don't know, provide a second opinion or like just do all that kind of stuff. Even just hang out, man. It's been good.
As an outsider, like how do you see, like, because you've been with me for the past like 2 months.
Yep.
How has it been like kind of seeing me like going through like my medication stuff? I haven't been going through crazy withdrawals, but like what have you noticed anything like the way I've been speaking?
I didn't really know what to expect coming over here, because like when we were in Melbourne, you'd often come to Melbourne when you were feeling good, and then you would leave when you were feeling bad. And then when you're in Warragul, we didn't really hear much from you or from your family. So it was something that was very like, not closed off, but like, you know, we'd call you on FaceTime, but like we'd only get to have like 10 or 20 minutes with you, as opposed to like now where I've seen every second from when I wake up to when you go to bed. You know what I mean? Honestly, bro, like it's been way better than what I thought. Like I thought it was going to be like, well, I didn't know what to expect, but I thought it might have been a bit more full on. Especially with like your mum and dad. Like Nige and Fiona have been like super like accommodating, and they've opened up to me as well, like telling me like a little bit of like their experience and stuff, which has given me a bit more of an insight. But like, to be honest, bro, like it's been fine. Like when you're having a shit time, you're having a shit time, but like, you know, more than anyone, it's just something that you just got to push through, and it's going to get better at the end of the day. So yeah, my role is just to be here and just help you through it.
Just support.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, it's been way better than what I thought it would have been.
Yeah,
so.
I agree.
Yeah?
I think that I've like done much better. But apart from all the medication and stuff, like how have you found like being over here? And like, cause I know you want to get your YouTube account up and going, and like you're going ham. You're like, this is the time for me to grow my channel and stuff. How do you feel like, how are you feeling in terms of like the pressure and stuff that you put on yourself? Do you think that you put too much pressure on yourself, or do you think that like it's a healthy amount?
It's hard to tell. I think it changes for every creator, to be honest.
Because wait, how like what's your schedule like at the moment?
Well, I don't really have a schedule. No one really like, when you work for yourself and you're making YouTube videos, you kind of just work whenever you get the time, and then you decide you decide when the time's right to just relax or socialize or watch movies. You know what I mean? But when I'm leading up to the end of posting a video, I'm working as much as I can, because I'm often creating artwork for that video. Then you've got like, as you know, thumbnails. You've got like your story posts, your Instagram posts. There's just, this recent video, I've launched my Patreon, so I've had to make a bunch of content for the Patreon and make the Patreon. There was just so much work involved leading up to it. And then on top of that, there's client work that I'm still trying to juggle with. So my schedule's like, if I'm not doing something like going out or watching a movie or eating, I'm working.
Yeah. And you don't want to be wasting time.
I hate wasting time.
Yeah.
I hate wasting time. But it is important. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, I literally slept all day.
Yeah. Well, you need to have your rest days.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Well, with all of your content and stuff, like how do you feel that you go in terms of like juggling your client work and your content and trying to balance like your social life and like just do all of that kind of stuff?
I feel fine. I've been doing it for 2 years now, so I know when the time is to put my head down and like work hard and sacrifice, and then you know, it's like a staircase. You know what I mean? Like you hit the next step, you got to work really hard and like just work your ass off. But then when you hit the other step, okay, it's a shit analogy actually. You know what I mean? Like I work hard, and then I actually give myself some time to just rest before things start to ramp up again. Because in terms of my client work, it's like a monthly schedule. I've got to get a certain amount of deliverables to the client every month. So if I'm not hitting specific targets, then I'm falling behind. But if I chip away at it slowly, then yeah, it typically ramps up towards the end of the month. But I feel fine with it, bro. Like I'm all good. I don't know. I've gotten a lot more organized as I've grown up these past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I thrive under the pressure. So I need pressure to get shit done. Otherwise, like everyone does. I feel.
You need a healthy amount of pressure.
Because only you can hold yourself accountable when you're working for yourself.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, exactly. So when there is a little bit of pressure kind of egging you on, I find that I'm a bit more productive.
Yeah.
So what about you? How you been going with like the content and holding yourself accountable and hitting your targets and goals? As
I said, like I'm kind of in a slump at the moment, but that's like also like that might be because of the medication. Like I just literally feel like I just don't want to fucking do anything. And my creativity is just like at an all-time low.
Yeah.
But maybe my creativity is also pretty damn low because I'm not creating as well. Like you become more creative by the process of just creating itself. So, yeah, like I don't want to call it laziness because like this is just how I feel like all the time at the moment.
Is it all the time though?
Like no, I just,
or is it just now?
it's like this veil like that. It's so hard to explain. Like it's like a veil that's over me. It's like this like sort of like it's not preventing me from creating, but like I try to create, I try to like talk to the camera, I try to hang out with my audience and stuff, and I'm just like not spontaneous. I'm not like coming up with like ideas and stuff like that, and it's just really fucking hard. Like it's been so hard, especially when like I want to get back into YouTube and like as like I hate like talking about numbers and stuff, but like my numbers are down. YouTube has absolutely shat on me because, and it's my fault because I've taken like such a long break and I've been so inconsistent with it. But I want to get my YouTube back. I want to get back on track so I'm able to like make a living doing what I love.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's a good mindset to have as well.
Yeah, for sure. But like it's just been really hard at the moment. But I'm trying my best to push through it.
I think from my perspective, it's a bit of a compound effect. Like you might think in your head it's the medication, and it might be playing a little bit of a role. But like in terms of what, like the past week where I've noticed you've been in a bit of a slump creatively, that past week we've been in Newport. And for those that don't know, Newport's like quite isolated from a lot of other areas. Well, we're an hour away from LA, first of all, and there's not much else, exciting around us. So we've been in Newport for 2 weeks now, I think. Alongside that, I've been busy. So I haven't been able to kind of pick up the camera or help you with ideas and like just get you going. Whereas, when we were at the snow and that kind of stuff, like, I was kind of pushing you to do stuff and we were getting creative, we were having fun. On top of that, you haven't got any other work to make. So like that leaves you to just sit on the couch or like think to yourself, what am I fucking doing? Which then makes you feel like shit. And it's like, it's a bit of a compound effect by external factors from my perspective. And yes, the medication, as I said, might play a role, but I don't think you should be so harsh on yourself.
No.
Because it's fair enough. I'd feel the same way if I didn't have any client work to do. I wasn't working on a video. I'm an hour away from where everything else is going down. And my mate's busy working. Like, what the fuck else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's understandable. Yeah. It's 100% understandable. I feel like a lot of other people would feel the same way if they're in your position. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Do you find that you look outside the box when you're feeling a certain way, or do you just kind of instinctively blame the medication straight away?
That's the thing. And I've been trying really hard to not blame the medication because the medication is just a given. It's just my situation. It's like, okay, you've got this stuff. It's blocking your brain from doing certain things and it's making it more difficult. Yep. It's like you've got a ball and chain, like, and you're trying to like jump, but like it's just like holding you down kind of thing. That's kind of what's happening. But the thing is, like, what are you going to fucking do about it? Like, are you going to sit there and just like do nothing? And like, yes, that's what I've done. Yes, that's what I've done for like the past few days.
And my answer to that is yes.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing for the past few days. But it just like I have been practicing mindfulness, so it has been okay for me. It's not like I've been getting in my head or anything like that, which is good. Yeah. But there's just something about doing fuck all that just makes you feel like shit. Like,
yes, especially with us content creators, because we're so used to always having something to do and being on that next thing. When you're not doing anything, I know personally, but I'm sure I can speak for a bunch of other people. You kind of feel guilty. Yeah, you know what I mean. You feel guilty because you're not putting in the work, and what we do requires a fuck ton of work.
Yeah, it does.
especially when you're just starting off. So yeah.
But it's like, I think that like creativity, it comes down to a DNA level. Like it's that fucking deep. Like if you're not creating, then you're not manifesting things into reality. That means that you're not like, it's like if a flower was to not bloom. It's like if the flower was to just like kind of hold in without like actually like blooming or anything like that, or a tree that's not like growing its leaves. Like you have to like it's like that's the universe like putting stuff out there. I know this is getting like deep.
No, I know what
like,
you mean.
But it's just an analogy. Like if you're not creating, then you're not participating in the universe. Your role, you're not being the cog in the machine of the universe, so to speak.
Yeah, by you sitting on the couch, it's almost as if you're suffocating your own creativity.
Exactly.
You're not letting it flourish.
Yeah, and creativity is life. Like action is life. That's what we're here to do. We're here to be vehicles of consciousness. I'm not going to get that deep.
Vehicles of consciousness.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, we're meant to sort of like be here to experience reality and to play with it.
Well, stripping it back a bit, as you were saying, we're creative people.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing creative things, then we're kind of like, that's our purpose.
Yeah.
We're very, very lucky because we both know what we love to do. There's a lot of people out there that have no idea and they're trying some things here and there, or maybe they're even just sitting around smoking weed and they're fucking clueless as to what actually sparks that
smoking
fire.
Weed.
There's a lot of people out there that I know that just literally do nothing and they don't even have the motivation to try new things.
Yeah.
Like learn the guitar or play piano or maybe even try video games or whatever. Like we're very fortunate to know that you, by taking photos, makes you happy. Me making graphic design makes me happy. And we can go do that and be at a happy place. And you know what I mean? Kind of just get it out of our system. Well, the fact that we're taking it that step further and we've made it our jobs is like even more phenomenal in my opinion. It's good to look at the bigger picture like that.
Yeah.
And so I can completely understand when you're just sitting around and you feel a bit lost and you're not attacking that outlet. Yeah, it can make you feel like shit for sure. That's okay, but that's okay. Yeah. That's fine. That's something that we're working on. You know what I mean?
But I think that it's also like really important to like be okay with not posting as well.
Yeah. Hayden testy pops a bit.
Yeah, my testicles literally pop all the time because I'm going to blame the meds. It's all the meds. It's all the meds.
The fucking meds.
The fucking meds. Yeah, like, but yeah, what's the time? 5:19.
Yeah, 5:24. We'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a struggle. Life's a struggle.
Yeah,
bro.
it
Like
is.
I feel lost as well right now.
Why?
If I can't get my YouTube up to a certain level where I can actually sustain myself off it, I'll get back home after traveling in Europe with fuck all money at 23. And like, okay, yeah, some people will be like, oh, you're young, fucking Gary Vee will be like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? But to me, like, I've got goals and ambitions long term. I see myself in a certain place and like having zero money, like barely a YouTube channel, like that would be upsetting. It wouldn't stop me. But I really hope to see like the graphic design community grow and flourish, and I want to see people making vector art and hosting competitions and like, you know, like the boys can do photo walks in any country and like they can literally have at least 100 people rock up. It's unbelievable. It's fucking unbelievable. So like I would love to be able to kind of be that I don't know what the word is, like just be that guy in the graphic design community or vector art community. I know it's so niche, but
it's also photography as well. You do photography.
Well, that's the thing. Like I love photography. I would almost become a photographer if I had to, but I like to be able to combine photography and graphic design, and that's because we share a very similar audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I can show people how to convert their photos over to graphic design, then maybe I can inspire more people as opposed to just shutting myself off to people that only know Adobe Illustrator. But bro, at the same time, I love doing photography as well because I only realized this recently, it's my artwork. Like I found the composition. I edited the photos. Okay, maybe I use your presets or Mitch Lali's or Northborders 7th shout out. Like maybe I use some presets here and there, but it's pretty much my own creativity. You know what I mean?
It is.
Which means I can sell it and it's 100% mine. I don't need to worry about fucking copyright or royalties later down the track.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you know, NFTs are becoming a bigger thing and shit. But it's just nice to know that what you're creating is 100% your own artwork.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's taken me a while to realize that, but like I could rip any photo off the internet, like amazing photos, and turn that into awesome graphic design, but it wouldn't feel the same.
Entirely yours.
Yeah, exactly. So
would you do YouTube for free? Like it just
I have been for 2 fucking years.
Yeah, I know, but like would you keep doing it just cause?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would. Maybe not at the rate that I'm currently doing it at, or with like the amount of thought process that's going behind the videos and like, you know, all that kind of shit. But I would be, because I love documenting.
Yeah.
And I liked documenting before I even met you boys. As I showed you before we came here, I did a vlog before I went to Greece, I think 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, I vlogged the whole thing. And that was before I even had a idea that I wanted to be a YouTuber. I just wanted to document it.
Yeah.
And just try out a little bit of videography and stuff. So, it's always been there underlying, but it really took Mike and Liam and yourself to be like, you want to do this? Fucking quit your job, just go for it.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked back ever since.
Yeah. It's mint. It's hard though.
It is hard, man. It's very hard, to be honest. And that's what I mean. Like if I can't see a foreseeable future in this, then I'm gonna have to think of something else, which is okay. I'm happy to adapt, but I would much rather sustain myself off a community that loves what I do and I love what they do. You know, we flourish together, we learn, we show each other our work and just continue to create. But then have to work in a graphic design studio or keep doing freelance work.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's just sustaining me to do this. Yeah. So if that fails, then I don't know. I'm scared.
Yeah. It's like the stakes are really high,
and that's why the pressure is high as well.
Yeah. Have you tried like sort of like figuring out ways to be able to like handle that pressure, or do you like that pressure? Like,
well, I think I like the pressure because I know it'll play a massive factor when I succeed. When I look back, once I've achieved my goals, and I said that you kind of have to think that you will. You can't think, oh, maybe if, maybe that. You know what I mean? Like you need to be certain that what you're working towards is gonna work.
Yeah.
So when I look back,
well, actually, I don't know about that. Like I agree with you. It's really good to be optimistic, because that's what I was like when I started out on YouTube, and that's probably what got me to where I got to. Like optimism and just kind of like this blind belief that like I was going to like make it. But the reality is like you don't actually know if you're going to make it, but you believe that you will, which is like a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because belief is really strong.
100%.
But like I think blind optimism can be like a mistake sometimes.
Okay.
Like if it's like blind, like it's like I can do fucking anything. It's almost like arrogance.
Yeah.
But
well, where it's getting to that point. What's that word called when people manifest? Manifest.
Is it manifest?
It's manifest. Yeah. I thought of it before I said it.
Yeah, no, it is good to be like, yes, like fuck yes, I can do this kind of thing. And especially if you surround yourself with people who believe in you as well, then it's like your power to manifest becomes stronger and stronger. But I think that the strongest, it's not even one of the, I think that the best way to be able to manifest your dreams literally is to just be present. With whatever it is that you're doing, like whether it be just like sitting on the couch and like right now I'm just having a podcast with you. Like right now I'm present.
I'm very present too.
Yeah, you're engaged.
Yeah, of course.
But the thing is, it's like I used to think that like flow, that's like what it's called. Like when you get into the flow state, like I used to think that was it. Like when you're editing and stuff, like that is the flow state. That's what you want, kind of thing, which to an extent it is. But the thing is, like, life is flow. Like, life is the flow state just as it is. Like, you don't need to be editing something or whatever to just like get into that kind of state. Like, obviously you have to, in order to like feel that like fuck yes, and that like you can't just be like that, like just like sitting there and just be like, I am in the flow state, and then it's like that. Do you know what I mean?
How does it relate to being to manifesting your goals or being blindly optimistic?
Well, it relates to that, because if you're present in the now, then you're present always, because now is forever. There is no other time other than now.
Yeah.
So if you get good at like, and this is why people meditate and stuff, not saying you have to meditate or anything to do this. I'm just literally practicing mindfulness. But like, if you're just like engaged in even going for a walk, like feeling your footsteps, like hitting the floor, as opposed to like thinking about your next idea all the time, then you're going to be training yourself to become present no matter what it is that you're doing. So whether it be a podcast, like if I'm talking to you, or if you're just in a normal conversation with someone else, or as I said, you're going for a walk. Like, it means that you're really taking in life and you're really existing in the now.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I no, it does make sense wholeheartedly. But personally, I think that type of thinking for me is just too deep.
Yeah, fair enough.
You've done a lot of reading and research, and you understand that stuff. You've experienced it yourself as well. Like, I haven't. Like, maybe I find other ways to just be present, whether I'm playing games on my phone or like playing computer games back on my PC at home. Or even just going out clubbing and just having a few beers, or well, you know what I mean? Like with the boys, like that for me helps me get my mind off content, so that when I am thinking about it, I'm a bit more refreshed.
Me
and Hayden had a funny conversation about being present in the car a couple of days ago, and I was like debating whether being present, if you're actually present because you're thinking about being present.
Well, then if you're thinking about being present, then you're not being present.
Yeah.
But like
But you always think.
But the thing, no, you don't. That's the thing. You don't always think, because if you were always thinking 24, then you would never be thinking.
But if you weren't thinking, then your brain would be off. You'd be dead.
Okay, I don't want to get into this conversation. It's like this.
Anyways,
goes
that was like the little debate that we were having.
Yeah.
But like the point that I try to make personally is that I don't like to go too far into that type of thought process, because like, to me, it just doesn't make sense. So there's no point trying to wrap my head around it.
That's
or
fine.
Explore it.
And the thing is, everyone's different.
I know. And
like,
it works for you.
Yeah, exactly. What works for me, it's not going to work for other people. And that's the beauty of life, because everyone's different.
100%.
It'd be shit if everyone was like all the same.
Yeah.
So
I love debating, Hayden.
Yeah, I know.
Even before everything happened, like we'd always have conversations about like certain like ideologies and like methods, and I'd always play like devil's advocate.
Yeah, I know.
And just like push your buttons and be like, but what about this? And what about that? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah. You do love a good debate.
Yeah. Well, I think not because like I disagree with you, but at the same time, like in terms of the way that I think, with like that whole thought process being too far from me, I like to kind of make you think, well, is it too much? You know, am I thinking too much? Is it too deep? You know what I mean? Should I strip it back a little bit? I'm not trying to sway your thought process, but by kind of just letting you into how I think, kind of almost just disregarding that whole area and, you know, kind of dealing with it other ways, like I suggested before. Maybe that would kind of be like to you, you know, Chris is just being ignorant towards all of this shit. Maybe it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Or you can still, you know, go down that path and if it works for you, it works for you. I'm not judging, but I'm here to just provide a different perspective.
Yeah, no, it's good.
My perspective.
Everybody's got a different perspective, and that's why it's so good.
Yeah, 100%. I'd be very curious to hear what Mike and Liam's thought process is, or like how they deal with pressure, and because we have all developed a lot, especially throughout COVID, everything that's happened. Like, I wouldn't say we're different people, but like, you know, like we've learned a lot.
We've evolved.
We've definitely evolved. So It would be interesting to do a podcast all together.
Yeah, I'd love to. Well, we can even do one online or whatever.
We could do an online one. I remember you boys did an online one. You were all in your rooms or something like that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Oh my God. I was going through some hectic shit at that point.
Oh, really?
That was with Jordan Michaelides, the Uncommon show.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. That was when I was like going through hectic spiritual stuff, but I won't get into that. But like,
did you unload a lot of that on the podcast or?
No, not heaps. It was just more like the way that I was being, like the way I was kind of acting and stuff. Like, yeah,
you were fucking Buddha.
I've been through some shit. Yeah, not saying that I'm like, oh, I've been through some shit, but like, fuck, like
you experienced some shit.
I've experienced some shit.
I've seen some shit.
I've seen some shit. Yeah.
Nah, that's all good.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, no, I do enjoy like just having a chat.
Yeah.
And I think the community also would enjoy listening to our conversation. Not because like, not for any other reason other than they just have an opportunity to pick our brains a bit. And like actually, cause like our content is so cut up. It's literally cut up to tell a story. And like if some things are like a bit more interesting or we talk for like a minute, like we cut it out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of almost so structured to the storyline, to the title of the video, that people don't actually get to know us as people.
Yeah, you miss the personal touches.
Yeah, and that's what podcasts actually, I've only recently realized that that's what podcasts actually allow.
Yeah. It's the uncut stuff.
Yeah, which is nice as a viewer, as someone that has a vested interest in like you as a creator, the content that you make, but most importantly, you as Hayden Pedersen, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I wanted to do this podcast. But yeah.
It's a good idea.
Oh, I'm glad you did it. I had to push him a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, for sure. Should we wrap it up?
Nah, fuck that.
You want to keep going?
100%.
Okay.
You tired?
No, I'm all right. I'm just getting a bit hungry. Actually, not
hungry.
really.
What do you want to eat?
I'm not that hungry.
We've been cooking dinners pretty much every night trying to save money. Because, dude, America's so expensive.
It is very
ridiculously expensive. Like, you get charged every transaction that you make. It's a small amount, but every time you get charged like a couple cents. And then the conversion from Australian to US is like actually quite significant, especially when you're buying food and doing just, buying drinks and all that. Then you got to tip motherfuckers. Like, that's just not
motherfuckers.
You got to tip them. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
In Australia. So it's been expensive whilst I've been over here. But, I mean, as we've spoken about, fortunately, I haven't had to pay rent. So thank you, Nigel Fiona.
Yeah.
Which has like obviously saved me a lot of money. But going over to Europe soon.
You keen for Europe?
I'm keen. We just bought a car. So we've got a big van for all the boys. So you better get down.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will get to Europe sometime.
I'm looking forward for when you do come. I'm looking forward to that time where you and Limon get over. And
it'll be all the boys together.
Like that song that was playing in the car before.
Yeah.
Like, and we're just running in
Chariots of Fire, if you don't know that, everybody.
Oh, no one gets that song.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure they got it.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, but like when that's going to be, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like it's like the future is so unsure right now.
Yeah, it's just we're just living in uncertain times at the moment. Not just us, but like
everyone,
the whole fucking world, man. Like with COVID and everything, like and Ukraine and oh my God, like
it's one thing after the other.
Yeah,
it's weird because like with the obviously recent like technological advancements, iPhones, the internet, all that kind of stuff. It's almost made it feel like time is just going by so quicker. Like, I don't know as humans whether we're like evolving and adapting at a much faster rate. And then that just inadvertently makes everything else just happen a lot quicker. Or if this is just always meant to happen, I don't know. But everything, it's just like fucking COVID, war, like natural disasters. It's crazy.
Well, apparently, like as you get older, the years in your life seem shorter. Like it seems like time goes faster the older you get because you're like, I don't know whether it's because like you're kind of like getting closer to like the end.
Where'd you hear that from?
Scientists on YouTube. I think Vsauce, to be honest.
Okay.
But like, yeah, time is very interesting. We won't get into that because that's just fucking.
But that's the kind of deep conversations that I'd rather have than talk about your medication.
Oh, no, we're not talking about the meds.
Oh, no, I know, but I'm just talking about in terms of deep conversation.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying we should talk about time, but I mean, obviously it's good to talk about everything with a balance. Like when the time's right, it's nice to talk about
Time.
your meds and like, yeah.
When the time's right.
When the time is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good time for every conversation.
Yeah.
But, fuck, I'm so congested.
Yeah.
me and I'm like,
Yeah.
me and Hayden have just both been sick. Not COVID, but we've just been feeling a bit,
Yeah.
So if you can't tell,
A little bit hairy
a bit
going.
nasally.
Yeah. My mum's got COVID at the moment.
Oh, true. I hope she's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be fine. Like, I think that the whole COVID situation, I don't know this, but this is just literally what I've heard from the grapevine, is that like COVID is like slowly like just dying away. Like, I don't know if it's dying off, but it's certainly becoming weaker.
Yeah, 100%. Well, with Omicron now, it's pretty much becoming
Just a
very
flu.
insignificant. Yeah, very insignificant. Whether there's a new strain, I don't know, but I don't think it'll ever be as severe as the first COVID. And now we've got vaccines and all this kind of crap. Although since we've been here in America, I haven't felt like COVID's been much of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's been really nice because in Australia, like, if someone got COVID, fucking isolation, 2 weeks, all this like rat tests and shit. It was like, it's like the end of the world.
It's good to get out.
I know. I still don't know how you haven't got COVID.
I might have had it, but I don't know.
Well, we're starting to think that now because you haven't had it yet, but you are triple vax. So it almost feels wrong saying you're triple vax. It's like there's so much politics behind it.
Yeah, there's like stigma.
I'm also triple vax too, by the way. I think everyone should be vaxxed personally.
Yeah.
However, I don't condemn anyone that disagrees.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone is entitled to do whatever they want to their bodies.
Yeah, I think each to their own.
It is each to their own. And at the end of the day, you don't know the type of environments people surround themselves in or like are just naturally in and like what type of news or information they're being force fed or like idols that they have in their lives. And that's what heavily dictates whether or not they make big decisions like that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if there's one thing I don't want to talk about is politics.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Fuck politics.
Yeah. I don't mind it. Like, I'm a little bit interested in like, what's going on in Ukraine right now. But they're just so, especially in 2022, everything is so touchy.
Well, it's just very divisive.
I know you talk about gender and you talk about like, you talk about politics or like, whether you're vaccinated or not. It's like everyone's got a very strong opinion. So like, I personally don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And like, neither does Mike or Liam. But there's a lot of people out there that would. Like, I'd be happy to have like a debate, over like, gender equality and like, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, just to discuss, just to genuinely have a talk with someone else that has a vested interest in it or a strong opinion, and you just talk about it. Whether we disagree or not shouldn't dictate whether we have an argument and you get angry or I get angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that we've lost in the past, 10 years or so, I think.
Not being able to have a debate.
Just being able to communicate without someone getting like upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have noticed that like you have your opinion and then like sometimes like people can get upset at you.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's only because like, not that I take it too far, but like if they say something and then I say something back and debate what they're saying, then maybe they don't have something in rebuttal and they get upset.
Yeah.
Or they just think my way of thinking is just completely wrong and they get upset. The thing is, there is no rights or wrongs. Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah.
I think everyone should be entitled to an opinion.
What do you think about this? And I don't think this is too deep, but like, have you ever thought about how as humans, we like think like I am right, like all the time.
Yes.
Like I'm right, like you're right.
Yes.
But the thing is, you don't like really think about like how you might be. It's not even necessarily wrong, but like there could be like as you said, like there's no right or wrong kind
Did
of
I
thing.
say that?
Yeah, you said that. Like,
Okay.
there's no right or wrong.
No, there
It's
is
just
no right
like,
or wrong.
There's just like
This is going to sound so fucked up, but Hitler thought he was right.
exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like bad people. You put that in quotation marks. Bad people don't think that they're bad people.
No.
They think that they're doing the right thing.
Yes.
Like,
I think the way to dictate whether someone's right or wrong is by a general consensus. Majority of people think Hitler was bad. Is probably bad. Majority of people think Putin is bad. Is probably bad. Doesn't mean there's a minority of people that think that he's good, and doesn't mean that that minority should be allowed to think he's good.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everyone should be entitled to an opinion.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got to say pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, I'll have my opinions, but I don't really want to sway people's opinions. I just want to, that's why I like the word debate, because if you think something and I think something different and we're both intellectual enough to have a conversation, then maybe I could actually convey what I think enough towards you that you change your opinion.
But then you're trying to change someone's opinion.
I'm not trying to change your opinion. We're just debating.
Okay.
We're just having a discussion.
Yeah.
Whether you decide to change your opinion or not, that's on you.
Yeah.
Maybe it is based on the information that I've provided or the conversation that we've had, but it gives you the opportunity to think differently. Because if you were surrounded in a community that told you Hitler was good, and then all of a sudden you step out of there and I tell you what he's actually done and the real things that he's caused, then maybe now you can actually see your opinion from a different perspective and change that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's some fucking deep conversation.
No, it's true. It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that ultimately, like, if we're going to progress as humans, we're going to need to go beyond this kind of like level of thinking, though. Like the level of thinking that is like right and wrong, all of that kind of stuff. Like if you can, like if we as a human race can transcend right and wrong and just come to realize that things are what they are, like they just are. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I think what, like, being right or wrong is like a foundation of.
Oh, you need to have like
nature.
right or wrong. You need to have that in order to have like a structure to work with.
Yeah.
But we don't. Yeah.
We don't need to label it so heavily.
Like you don't need to be like labeling stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to say. Because then you have like people that are super dogmatic and they're like super stuck with their views. I don't know what that means. Dogmatic means like someone who's really like rigid with their views.
Okay.
And they're not like flexible and they're not able to like hear someone else's like point of view and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand.
We need to go beyond that. Like as humans.
I agree. And it's weird, isn't it, that humans, we have evolved in such a way where like people have such strong perceptions and they're not willing to change it for the life of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is.
Like bringing it towards Ukraine in a way, like I've seen videos of Russian soldiers being captured by Ukrainians and they're crying in front of like the press and the media after being told what they've actually been doing. You know what I mean? Like they've had information held from them and told to go do something and they find out and they think it's terrible. You know what I mean? So that actually brings me a little bit of faith in humanity that we're going in the right direction. But yeah, some people can get really stuck in their ways, and just do things because they feel so proudly about it. Not being open-minded or like open to change.
Yeah.
I wonder where we're going to be in the next
50 years.
50 years. Yeah, for 50 years.
Well, hopefully
we'll
like
have
we've
people
done
on
something
Mars
about
by
the
then.
planet.
That's why I love Elon Musk, bro.
Yeah.
I hope we fix the planet. Like I know we're doing a lot of bad things to it. I mean, was it necessary? Probably. I think
was what
in terms of like, okay, all of our like burning of coal and carbon dioxide emissions and you know, I think we woke up. I think we should have woken up a little bit sooner when it came to like animal cruelty. I think I don't want to say veganism, but I think it was definitely necessary to have to like herd and contain like animals just for the pure resource.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we're getting smart enough now
we're learning.
Yeah,
We're learning.
I think all of that is necessary.
It's all a part of evolution.
Yeah, I do think it's necessary.
But
would you take anything back?
No, I wouldn't take anything back because, as I said, it's all part of evolution. Like we are meant to go through this stuff. We're meant to make mistakes. We're meant to do all these kind of things. It's all a part of like our growth as humans. So it's more like what I find to be more interesting is like what next.
I think we should definitely focus more on renewable energy, but at the same time, I've got a feeling that nuclear energy is like the key to like some hectic shit.
Yeah, hectic shit.
No, straight up. Like we shut off nuclear energy because of a couple of stuff. No, not because of the bombs that were being used, like Chernobyl.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, not Hiroshima.
Yeah,
God damn.
There are a couple of like bad nuclear explosions just due to human incompetence and bad management. And that just shocked the whole world, and they just shut down all the nuclear power plants.
Yeah.
But it's such a fast way of creating energy. And I don't think it makes any CO2 emissions at all.
No, I don't
it's
think
actually
it does.
clean.
Yeah, it's clean. It's like it's the cleanest form of energy, and it's the most efficient form of energy, but it's the most dangerous.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Just quietly.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, humans have given this resource that's like super efficient, but super dangerous.
It's like tempting.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Who's controlling this shit, man? Like, like you're giving us like this, you know what I mean? It's like, choose this direction. We don't know what's going to happen, but you know, these are the qualities. Yeah. And then we go down the other direction, which slowly fucks us up anyways, but like it's safer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
But in terms of like space travel and like, you know, becoming an interplanetary civilization, I think nuclear energy is definitely the key.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just sad that we haven't been able to develop it and invest into that
we
area.
are developing it. Like there are people like developing it like as we speak, but it's just like we haven't been actually making them and then like turning them on and shit. Like
yeah, no. Well, like
it's just more like a planning kind of phase.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting.
I don't research too much. I don't know too much. I know a little bit about everything.
Yeah,
you know why? Because when I'm like vectorizing and shit, I just watch random YouTube videos.
Yeah. Joe Rogan
or like BBC or like other news channels. I just whatever sparks my interest, I'll just click on. Joe Rogan, dude, like straight up,
he's amazing,
unbelievable. Yeah, like I was listening to a podcast of Steve-O yesterday. And I was just having a laugh because he was telling us of all these funny stories of how he's been like arrested and you know, like you get to, as I said, you get to understand people, you know what I mean? And like their character, who they are. Just by the way they articulate themselves and their humor, like what makes them laugh and that kind of shit. That's why I wanted to do one with you. Because I feel like we've developed quite a lot as humans, but, yeah, especially over the past year or two.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think you've developed the most? What's most different about you now compared to the Singapore fucking 2019 Hayden Pedersen?
Well, that Hayden Pedersen was very, very ambitious, very focused on like making it, so to speak. I was very much on the hamster wheel of success, so to speak, as well. And I was searching for answers, but not so much that like I wasn't like meditating for like 8 hours a day or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed content in order to fulfill me.
Yeah.
Like I needed content to be happy. And that was that me. But then the Hayden Pedersen now is definitely, I'm not off the hamster wheel. I still feel that sense of guilt if I'm not uploading YouTube videos all the time. But that guilt is much less than what it was.
It's good.
I'm much more present now. So with the whole mindfulness stuff, like that is fulfilling me more. And the content is like, I'm not needing to rely on content to fulfill me. Which is why I'm able to go like days without making stuff. Like, and I don't want to get to 27 minutes. I don't want to get to a point where like I am like not making content at all. That's not what I want, because what's the point? Like, I enjoy making content, but it's like I don't have to do it. I don't feel like I have to do it.
Yeah.
It's more like I do it because I want to do it.
Yeah, you've been able to alleviate the pressure of your own conscious.
Yeah.
Way better. Like, you can control that.
Yeah.
That feeling. You don't let it control you anymore.
No. And like it does, like, to like some like level, but like not nearly as much as what it was.
Yeah.
So
that's a good
it's
answer.
much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good answer.
So who is CK creative now versus CK creative 2 years ago?
Okay. To be honest, not much has changed with me.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been like very motivated. 2 years ago, I knew that I wanted to do or be a graphic designer. I wanted to be successful. Like, I definitely want financial freedom, but I want to find it doing what I love, and I'm on that path. I mean, 2 years ago, I just met you boys. So fucking the whole concept of like traveling with fucking, is going to sound fanboy as fuck, but Hayden Pedersen, Northborders, you know what I mean? Like, seventh year was like that. If you told me that, like, you know, we've been living together for 2 months and making content together, 2 years ago, I would have fucking, you know what I mean? I would have bought a little fucking scratchy or some shit. Like, thought I was the luckiest man alive.
Yeah, scratchy.
But like, looking at it now, I mean, it all kind of makes sense in a way. We just found each other naturally, and you guys inspired me, and I'd like to think that I've helped you boys through a lot as well, and we're just genuine friends. Like, I don't see our relationship as like what I would have seen it like 2 years ago.
No,
you know what I mean? Because 2 years ago it would have been from like a consumer's perspective.
Yeah.
Where I like loved watching all your boys' videos, seeing all the shit that you were getting up to, and like your travel content, and like following you guys as creatives. Whereas now I feel a part of it, and I feel like I have my own role to play within the graphic design space, and like yeah. So I think looking back, I think my past self would be very happy and proud to see where I'm at now.
That's
but
awesome.
Like, and look, it's very good to like look at the bigger picture. I don't think people do it enough, to be honest. So easy to get caught up in like the small, you know, day by day life of what you're doing, but to actually look at where you've come from is like really, really important. It's definitely something that can easily motivate you. But yeah, like looking into the future, obviously I don't know what it's going to hold, but I'm optimistic, as I was saying before, that, you know, things are going to work out, and I'm willing to put in the hard yards.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to work my ass off.
You're G'd up
to make this work. Because I said, like, I feel the pressure of if it doesn't, and I don't like talking like that, but it might, as you said, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to do everything in my power to make it happen. And like, I've got the best support network around me. Like, obviously my family and you boys. Like, you guys have nothing but faith in me. So why wouldn't I have faith in myself?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I'm keen to go meet Mike and Liam and Faye, and make content with them and just travel with them. I've never traveled with friends before. Yeah. As I told you earlier today, I've been to Europe, but I haven't done that travel thing.
No, not by yourself.
No. And to be able to document it at the same time, like 10 years from now, I'm going to be able to look back at the first time I went out and traveled with my friends and made content and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm keen for the future. 2 days.
Exciting times.
2 days I leave.
Yeah, 2 days.
You sad?
I am sad. No, it's all right though. But we'll just take it day by day, and I'll make some friends.
Yeah. We'll be calling you as well, making sure that you're doing all right and shit, and you'll keep up with what we're doing and stuff too. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
There you go, bro.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think, what is that? About an hour and a
it's an hour and a bit. Actually, it's crazy.
Solid podcast.
Yeah,
solid. I could keep talking.
Yeah, I know you could, but I'm just like getting tired. Like,
that's okay though. Did
just
you enjoy
meds.
You enjoy the podcast?
I did. Yeah, I love talking. Like, I just love it.
I know you do.
Yeah,
it definitely can be draining on like on the mind.
Yeah.
But no, that was good. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
I hope you guys found something like useful. Maybe we helped you motivate yourself, or whether it's like, you know, whether tomorrow you're going to go try find something that you enjoy doing, or maybe you already know exactly what you want to do and you just want to kind of put in the hard yards and make make your goals become a reality. That's what I really hope people gain from these podcasts.
Yeah.
But aside from the content, I hope that you guys got to know us a little bit more about our friendship now.
Yeah.
Like, I call you one of my best friends without a doubt.
Yeah, likewise.
We've been living for 2 months together, as we've said, and like haven't had a single argument.
Yeah. That's not natural.
I know, right? I was even thinking of like, we should move in together.
Yeah.
Like, we should get a house and like,
I'd do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we're back in Melbourne.
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
But yeah, anyways.
All right.
You want to do the outro?
Yeah, sure. Well, if you like this video, maybe consider... No, I'm just kidding. It's actually not the same outro as my YouTube one. But I actually forgot how to do the outro for Between the Frames. But like, you can check us out on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, I think. I actually don't know. But either way, like, it was awesome hanging out with you again. And I'll catch you next time.
We'll catch you next time.